Hello and welcome to Logos College Online. This is Achan Toto. Today, I want to start Unit 11. Unit 11 in your person-to-person student book number 2. Okay, Unit 11. That's on page 88. Page 88. Okay, so Unit 11, you turn it, Conversation 1, and it looks like this, all right? And it says, have you ever tried it? And it means that it's asking, have you done certain things in your life? And this picture right here, this is kite surfing, and it's pretty fun. All right, it's not that dangerous. But they consider this an extreme sport, right? So you ask, have you ever tried kite surfing? Okay. And this conversation right here says, what kind of sports equipment can you see in the picture? And what kind of sports do you like? So sports equipment are things that you need to do a certain sport. Here it looks like I could see a snowboard right here. I don't know. I really can't see anything else. This picture is not that great. Over here, in this box over here, it says sky surfing. Right? So sky surfing, it's an extreme sport. Here's a better picture of sky surfing. So he jumps out of the plane. He's got a snowboard, and he's got a parachute. Right? I personally would not do this. I have never tried sky surfing, and I never will. It's a little too dangerous for me. So that's an extreme sport. Other extreme sports you might have seen before, like this. They're base jumping, and they're paragliding, right? And they go along the mountainside. That's a little too dangerous for me. This paragliding, right? This is pretty fun. I think you've seen this before. I've seen this in Laos, in Vientiane. This is really fun right here. Zorbing. Zorbing is really big in New Zealand. And you get into this ball and then you roll down the hill. Or people play this with soccer or football. They'll play football with this. It protects them. It's fun. Or you can get into the ball and walk over water. So that's called zorbing. Lots of fun. You should try that. This I have tried, and it is very fun. Okay, back to the conversation. You have a conversation between Max and, I don't know how to say this name, Shigeo, right? And they're talking about sports equipment. And he goes, look at this snowboarding gear. So yes, they are holding a snowboard, and they're looking at sports or snowboarding equipment. Okay. I'm going to play this conversation for you between these two guys. I want you to remember voice inflection of yes and no questions. It goes up towards the end, right? And the voice inflection of WH questions, all right? It starts high and comes down, right? So have you ever tried snowboarding? Remember, it goes up towards the end. All right? You'll hear a sound. Have you ever tried snowboarding? Okay. Look at down here. Now, that's something I don't want to try. Right? Notice the stress on don't. Right? He does this, remember, for emphasis on contrasting ideas, right? On something that you don't want to do, something that you can't do. Right? So we stress negatives. Okay, let me play this for you.
Unit 11, Conversation 1. Have you ever tried it?
Look at this equipment. I think there's something for every winter sport here.
I'll say, look at this snowboarding gear. Have you ever tried snowboarding?
Snowboarding? No, I've never done it. Have you?
I tried it once.
You're kidding. When?
Last year, when I went to Korea.
What was it like? Was it fun?
Oh yeah. I fell down a lot at first, but it was really cool.
Did you try any other sports there?
Yeah, we did some rock climbing. Have you ever done that?
Lots of times. I used to go every weekend. The last time was in the spring. I fell and hurt my leg.
That's too bad. How about bungee jumping? That's really scary.
Now that's something I don't want to try.
All right. So if you notice a lot of voice inflection, and at the very end, he goes, now that's something I don't want to try. Okay. So you want to remember, if something's negative or you want to emphasize something, you definitely want to put a stress on it. Let's go to where he says, you're kidding. All right. So you're kidding is like saying, wow, oh, really? Wow. Or you're joking. Right? That's just an expression people like to use in English. What else? Notice when Max goes, what was it like? Was it fun? Right? So the WH question, the voice inflection came down. And then this is a yes-no question, and the voice inflection goes up. All right. What was it like? Was it fun? Okay. Let's go to this question right here. Have you ever done that? Have you ever done that? All right. So this is an example of present perfect. Okay. I don't know if you remember learning present perfect, but I'm going to go over that. Before I do, they're going snowboarding. Here's snowboarding. All right, so you need a lot of snow. I don't think you can do this in Laos. Probably not. It's really cold, a lot of snow. I've done it before. You fall a lot. I fell a lot of times, and it hurts. This is bungee jumping. This also started in New Zealand, all right? And this I have never done. I will never do this. This is crazy. If you've done this, you're a lot braver than I am. Okay, so let's go to this discussion right here, discussing experiences 1. So experiences, they're things that you've done in your life, all right? So when you talk about things that you have done in your life, you can use present perfect because you're still alive, all right? You're not dead. You're still alive. So you say things like, I have tried snowboarding. I have tried bungee jumping, because it is still true to this day in your life. But notice when he goes, I tried it last year. Look at this sentence, all right? So when you give a specific time in the past, last year, you have to use past tense. Where this first statement, I've done it lots of times, he doesn't give a specific time in the past. He just says that he has done it before. He has done it lots of times. Therefore, in this case, you use present perfect. Right? The last example, he goes, I go snowboarding every weekend. Right? This is an example of present tense. And remember, present tense is not only used to talk about today, right? It's used to talk about things that you normally do, things that you typically do, things that you usually do every day, or all the time, or often. Okay? In this case, every weekend. All right. So there's 3 separate tenses there. Right? This unit, I want to focus on the present perfect because I know a lot of students still struggle of how to use present perfect and when to use present perfect. So present perfect is, you use it when the exact time in the past is not important, right? And we use present perfect for an event that started in the past and is still true today. So this is the day of your birthday, all right? You were born this day. if you did something that started anywhere here and is still true today, it's something that still is going on today, something that still is a fact in your life today, we use present perfect. And present perfect is the subject, have or has, plus the past participle of the verb. And if you want to say no, you say have not, has not, plus the past participle. Okay. And if you want to ask a question, remember in English the subject is flipped. All right. So you say have or has before the subject. All right. I don't want to get into too much grammar. This is a speaking class, but I have to show you this, explain this. The past tense versus present perfect. Remember when it's in the past and it started in the past and finished in the past, you use past tense, right? Last year, last month, yesterday, last week, 5 years ago, right? That's past tense. And that's a definite time in the past, right? 5 years ago, I lived in the United States. I have lived in Vientiane for 3 years now, right? See, so that started in the past. I moved to Laos 3 years ago. Right? I have lived in Vientiane for 3 years. So that last statement I made, I had to use present perfect because it started 3 years ago and is still true today. I still live in Vientiane. Okay, present perfect. Let's skip all that. Okay. Words like, I'm sorry, come back here, my bad. Present perfect, if you ever see words like ever or never, you're probably going to use present perfect. Notice the title of this unit, have you ever tried it? Right? So if you see the words ever or never, you're 99% going to use present perfect. Okay. Let's go down to here. So present perfect is formed with the verb have plus the past participle, all right? Contractions of have, I have is I've, you have, you've, all right? He has, he's, she has, she's, and so on, okay? Words like already, you can use with present perfect. Just, we use with present perfect. And yet, we also use with present perfect. Okay. This is a lot of grammar. Like I said, this is a speaking class. So let's focus on our speaking, okay? I'll leave this grammar up to you. You can do this if you want to. All right, let's come up here. Back up to discussing experiences. All right. Have you ever tried snowboarding? Yes, I have. If you say no, no, I've never done it. Okay. Have you? So again, if you see the word never, right, you're going to use present perfect because when you talk about an experience you have done or you haven't done or you've never done, it's still true today in your life and you're still alive. Right? And then when you answer, you can answer, if you say, I've done it lots of times, you answer with present perfect, right? You say you've done it, but you didn't give a specific time in the past. I tried it last year. In this case, you use past tense because you gave a specific time in the past, last year, right? And here, I go snowboarding every weekend. You use present tense because you're talking about something, a normal routine, something that you usually do, something that you often do all the time. In this case, every weekend. let's look at your practice. And your practice here, it says, listen to the example, then ask your partner if he or she has done any of the following things. Okay, obviously you don't have a partner unless you want to practice at home with your classmates or your brother or sister or your mom and dad, all right? So here, I'm going to ask you using the word go or the verb go, right? Have you ever gone mountain biking? All right. If I say ride, the past participle of ride is ridden. Right? So I would say like this: have you ever ridden a mountain bike? All right. If you say no, I've never done it. Have you? Okay. If I were to say, ask you in past tense, let's say I want to talk about last year. Okay. Did you go mountain biking last year? Right. Did you ride a mountain bike last year? Right. So in English, when we ask a question, we use the verb do, and the past tense of do is did. Right. Number two, I'm going to ask you, have you ever tried skateboarding? If you want to answer in present tense, yes, I go skateboarding all the time. Yes, I go skateboarding every Friday. Yes, I often skateboard 3 times a week. Okay. Cross-country skiing. All right. Have you ever tried cross-country skiing? All right. Yes, I have. I have skied. I have gone cross-country skiing many times. All right. I tried cross-country skiing last week. All right. I skied last week. Other examples: whitewater rafting, hang gliding, bungee jumping. Right? So these are things, these are activities people like to do. These are extreme sports. I'll let you practice at home in your own time. Okay, I think I'm gonna end this video here. This was part 1 of conversation 1. Right. The biggest things to remember in this video, the important things are when you ask questions, have you ever, all right? When you see words like ever or never, you use the present perfect, okay? And present perfect, the way you form it is have or has plus the past participle of the verb, okay? And if you want to answer, you can answer in present perfect. If you want to answer in past tense, make sure that you give a specific time in the past. Right? If you answer in present tense, you say things like every weekend, I often do that. Maybe I do it every day. I do it twice a week. Okay, next video, we're going to do the second part of Unit 11. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.